Hello dear students, today we are going to study the chapter number 7, Environment and Sustainable Development from the ID. See guys, this chapter is very much important not for the exam only but for the real life also. The concept of sustainability is very much important. Okay, so let's start the chapter Environment and Sustainable Development. So let's talk about that from where this concept has been emerged actually. So when the people have started moving with the process of growth and development, people have started moving with the process of growth and the development. These two words actually, growth and development, has come up or they have emerged after the Second World War in the world. So many countries have felt that now we want the growth and we want the development. But when the growth means raise in production, when you think for increasing the total output, and if output will increase, it will increase the income and it will lead to you towards the development. So it is a actual result of the growth. So growth is the main thing and the development is the result of it. But for the process of growth and development, we must have to harm the environment. See guys, note my words. Without harming the nature, it is not possible to complete your process of growth and to complete your process of development. If you want the development and if you want the growth, then you must have to harm the environment. Okay. So after Second World War, means after 1948, many of the countries in the world have started for moving for the process of growth and development. So what have been happened actually, while they have started moving with the growth and development, slowly, the environment was getting degraded, environment's quality was getting reducing, and because of this all, now they have come up with the thought that now we are going for the development, that is okay, we are going for the growth, that is also okay, but this process of growth and this process of development is harmful for the environment. So we have to think something in that manner that we can get the growth also, we can get the development also, and we can save the environment also. So from that particular event, this thought of environment and sustainable development, mainly the sustainable development concept, has came into the existence. So this sustainable development is what actually? Sustainable development is to fulfill the need of the present generation without harming the needs of future generation. Means right now whatever the resources we are having, okay, whether it is mineral, whether it is petrochemical, any such resources which we are using nowadays, we have to limit the uses in that such manner that upcoming future can also live with the same resources. Means we have to limit the uses and we have to start consuming more and more renewable sources of the nature, so that future generation can be also saved and sustained into the life. And with that, with the every developmental process, we have to take care about the environment. So that is the basic things about the environmental and sustainable development. But if we talk about the textual concept of what is environment is exactly, then according to the Environment Protection Act 1986, the definition is given where the two things have been included into that environment is carrying two things into it. What can be said as environment according to 1986 Environment Protection Act? So environment includes physical and living elements. Whatever the physical and living elements are present, those combination is known as the environment. Means you can say that the combination of physical and living elements. Physical elements includes what? Physical elements includes all the things which is non-living things like mountains, water, okay, this all the things we have to include, minerals. So this all the physical elements, air, okay, this is also a part. So air, mountain, water, mineral, this all including living elements. Whatever the living elements are living, like plants, flowers, trees, humans, insects, animals, this all. So combination of physical and living all the elements will be considered as the environment according to the Environment Protection Act 1986. And the time has come, guys, already, when we have to see for the environment, we have to take care for the environment, we have to look after the environment. Otherwise, with the process of growth and development, we will harm the environment in that such manner that all the world, not India only, but surrounding the India, means all other nations also and all other locations also will going to suffer a lot because of environmental degradation or because of environmental crisis. Okay, so let's talk about the significance of the environment, why the environment is important. So these are the few points, easy points are there. This whole chapter is easy to understand. What are the significance of environment? The significant number one, that environment gives the resources for the production, for any production activities. For any industrial production, environment gives what? Resources. Even the lands get the cultivations done because of land itself is a resource. Okay, so land, minerals, there's all the resources which actually gives the output in form of crop, in form of cultivation, in form of product that comes by the environment only. Steel, aluminium, metal, coin, whatever. Okay, whatever the product you think that comes by the nature. So environment gives the production and it gives the resources for that. The next is environment gives the life sustainability. See, because of the environment only we are able to sustain. Otherwise, we will not be able to sustain in the life. If oxygen gets stopped circulating just for 3 to 4 minutes, okay, then you may think that how it will going to affect to the world. So it is very much important, whether it is sunlight, very much important part of our life, okay, air, very much important part of our life, water, very much important part of our life. So without this all, we cannot sustain. So if we don't have the product, we can live the life for the longer, and previously people were living also. But if we do not have the resources like air, water, this all, then we cannot sustain the life for the longer. That means the environment gives the sustainability for the life also. With the third, environment assimilates the waste. Whatever the waste we produce, that assimilates means it absorbed by the environment. Okay, the garbage that we throw, the air pollution that we produce, okay, this all gets absorbed in the environment. So environment is not only a giver, but environment is also a taker, but it takes a bad things from our side. Okay, it does not take any good thing from us. Okay, it provides goods and take the waste. That's why it is said that environment assimilates the waste also, and it also gives the qualitative life to us. When you are tired, when you completely bored from the life, you visit some of the place which is the completely the place with the full of oceans or with the full of nature or with the full of beauty, then you enjoy your life, the surrounding with the trees, the surrounding of the birds, you like that more. It means environment gives us a qualitative life also to live. So these are the significant point of the environment. Let's move to the next topic. Next topic is this environmental crisis. We see that we have seen that in the previous point that environment have its own importance, but then too right now environment is on the crisis phase. So why the environment is on crisis? Okay, what is the reasons for environmental crisis right now, and for what the environment is suffering a lot? So because the first reason is environment's carrying capacity is completely limited right now. See, every environment have the such resources. Okay, every such places, like if you talk about the Indian environment, if you talk about the environment of USA, if you talk about the environment of Brazil, every country in the world have their specific environment, specific resources, specific type of the living needs into it. But because of the continuous human insertions, what have been noticed that people are exploiting the resources because of the thirst, or because of the need of the profit, or because of the need of the higher production. Okay, so people have started exploiting the resources, and environment have the limited capacity. to carry the limited resources, but we are somehow exploiting the resources, okay, just for fulfilling our demands, just for fulfilling our own needs. And because of that, nowadays the capacity of environment has come to its own limits, and because of that we are facing the environmental crisis. With that, the capacity of absorbing, the previous point we have studied in the previous slide, that environment's assimilate capacity is also limited. How much carbon dioxide you produce, how much waste you throw in the open field, in the open area, every such land, every such atmosphere have the limited capacity of absorbs. Okay, but that capacity also we are trying to overtake, and right now the condition has come up where the environment's absorptive capacity has been limited. Okay, it comes to its limit, and that's why only few natural calamities we people are facing globally, not in India only. So environmental crises have mainly two reasons, but if you talk about the causes of it, these are the two main reasons behind it. But causes are many, like population. Because of high population, demand is high. Because to fulfill the high demand, we need to exploit more resources. More resource exploitation comes to environmental crisis. Next is poverty. When you talk about more poor people in India, about 22 or more than 22 crore people are living into the slum areas. Poor people, they don't have literacy, they don't have education, they don't have proper housing facility. They throw the garbage any place. They do their all the essential work at the places wherever they find it. So this poverty is also a problem, because they don't have the proper drainage facility, they don't have the proper housing facilities, they don't have any such facilities where they can save the environment. So they are the biggest I can say that they are the biggest enemy for the environment, the poverty. Urbanization is also, because of urbanization, the people are started migrating from the rural to urban areas, and urban areas have started living into the less density, and because of the density issues, the people have started increasing the pollution. They are throwing this there, they are using this vehicle, they are using that vehicle, carbon pollution. These things have started happening into the country because of urbanization and use of HYV, high yielding varieties, fertilizers, pesticides. Okay, this we have started using into the more amount, and if the people will start chemical using into more quantity, it will always harmful for the land, it will always harmful for the air also. Like if we are trying to use of heavy fertilizers, then fertilizers of chemical, the chemicals which have been already mixed into the fertilizer will going to spread into the land, it will create the land pollution. Okay, pesticides, when we are using the pesticides, it's spread into the atmosphere, it will be harmful for the environment. So this way the pesticides, fertilizers, chemicals, these are also harmful for the country. And industrialization, because of the urbanization, many industries have been started. Okay, the emergence of the industrial sector in India is notable, but that industrialization is some way harmful for the nature also, because industries produce the waste, industries produce the smoke. Okay, industries produce the sound pollution also. So it means industries are also overall, they are the cause of producing the environmental crisis. And the heavy use of vehicles, nowadays vehicles are the basic need of the society. So every individual are owning their own vehicles, and when the vehicles are moving on the roads, okay, when people are transporting or migrating from one to another place, they actually carrying the carbon dioxide with them, and it will be harmful for the nation or for the world also. That's why it will be also considered as the cause of it. And yes, the last one is breaking of the civic norms. As we have seen in the beginning itself, that Environment Protection Act 1982 means to protect the environment, we have the many act and many rules and regulations, but I don't think so that people are regularly habituated to follow these rules. Okay, some or another way we are trying to exploit the environment. We somehow try to break the rules, we try to harm the nature. Okay, we visit one place where it is written clearly that don't throw the garbage or plastic things here, and generally we throw to that places only. Somehow we are not also following the civic norms. So we have to be very serious about it. and these are the causes of environmental crisis. Okay, let's move for the next and the last one. This dichotomy study, very much important. Dichotomy study of environment. See, when the word dichotomy comes in front of you, so what is the meaning of dichotomy is exactly, it is given into your textbook also. Dichotomy means when you try to find out the absence or presence of something. When you try to find out the absence or presence of something, then it is known as dichotomy study. Let me give you an example for that. Like you are having your meal. If you are having your lunch, and during your lunch you have find out that this particular dish which have been served to me, it has the less amount of the salt. So what you did, that you did the dichotomy study. Why? Because you have find the absence of something. What you find that in this dish or in this particular meal, this particular meal is not complete with the namak. Okay, basically. So when you find absence or the presence of something, the salt is less in the dish, it means you have tried to identify the dichotomy. The same way in the environment, what is present and what is absent, when you try to find out that is known as dichotomy study of the environment. And right now in our environment, what is more, what is something it is present more? The pollution, carbon dioxide, garbage, this is more in the quantity. Okay, and what is less? Purity, pure air, pure land, this is less. So this is called what? This is called the dichotomy study. So after completing the dichotomy study of the environment, two main reasons have been found out for the exploitation of environment, and one is poverty. I already have discussed this point, so we will not going to elaborate this again. And the second is expansion of production activity. People are more into the production of goods and services. Okay, so they are establishing more and more industries, establishing more and more factories, and because of the heavy expansion of the industrial sector, some and other way the trees are cutting down, the curtail of the trees, whether you can say for the road and transportation, the trees curtail. Okay, with that the industries are producing the carbon dioxide, industries are producing the heavy chemicals also, which cannot be thrown on the open land areas. It is the waste product, this industries which produces, that is also harmful. Means overall, if you can write about it by your own words, it would be very much good, because these all are the general things which we are observing into our routine. Okay, so dichotomy study was the main point that I have highlighted. And the last one, what are the strategies for the sustainable development? Now we have studied that sustainable development have this, sustainable development have that. We have come to the environment crisis. These are the reason for that. Environment is very much important for us. The United Nations, India, all other people have started and they have decided to go for the environment protection. But if individually we have to take care of our environment, and if we have to move with the sustainable development, then what are the strategies for that? Then strategies are very much simple. Reliance on the non-conventional sources of energy. You completely try to depend. I'm not saying that immediately. Okay, our textbook is also not advising that. You just try to start depending on non-conventional sources of the resources or non-conventional sources of the energy. Like if you start using the solar power, okay, if you start using the vehicles which is battery oriented, so this can be considered as the non-conventional sources which does not produces the waste, or it is not harmful for the nature. Next is use of LPG and gobar gas into the rural areas. Mainly the rural people, many years back, they were habituated to complete their cookings and all the things, kitchen things, with the use of the wood or with the use of timber and all. Okay, so this has been restricted, and use of LPG will be spread, then curtail of tree will be limited into the villages. If people can start their own produce waste into converting it into the gas, and if they convert the waste into the gobar gas, then it can be used for the purpose of cooking or just for purpose of getting the energy. And for this actually government is running one scheme also for the rural areas, which is known as Gobar Dhan scheme. Okay, The third one is CNG in urban areas. Okay, into the vehicles, especially the cities like Delhi, they have made the compulsion of use of CNG, compressed natural gas kind of the things into the vehicles compulsorily, because they produces the less waste instead of using petrol or diesel. Okay, and the next is more use of wind power, because wind power is the conventional source, okay, which is renewable. You can get the renewable energy from it. Okay, and it is not at all harmful for the environment. Mini hydel plants, this is mini hydel plants is actually useful in the mountain regions, where the mountain regions have the completely the sources of the waterfalls or the water is coming towards from the mountain like this. If the mountain areas are like this, let's take an example for it so that you can understand it. The mountain areas generally have the like the Himachal Pradesh or like the Uttarakhand or like the Jammu and Kashmir, this particular regions where they have the water sources or the water availability about 8 to 9 months completely, so that waters are falling from the mountain like this. So when the water is falling from the mountain, you can fit the turbine at some of the places, mini turbines, which is not that much costly. So because of the water flow, this turbine will start moving, and when these turbines will start moving, it produces the energy, and you can convert this energy or you can use this energy for any such purpose. Okay, like you can use this energy for floor making also, means atta. Okay, floor making you can use to charge the batteries also, this energy. Okay, so this is already in existing. People are practicing this into the mountainous region especially, but the users should be expand. That is the point. And the traditional practices, from the traditions, the ancient people are doing whatever the traditional practices. Okay, they were using the more plants. In every such houses there are the tulsi plants or some other plants. Okay, whenever it comes for the rituals, they always blessed by the nature. Okay, so these all the traditional practices also we have to take care, and we have to follow also. And more use of biocomposting and biopaste control, this we take together. Biopaste control and composting means what? We are wasting the waste, we are throwing the waste into the open land areas. Instead of throwing those particular waste, we can collect that waste, and we can start producing our own fertilizers with the use of neem water, or with the use of the buttermilk, or with the use of cow urine. We can able to make biopaste also, like one of the famous biopaste in the market, which have been completely made up with the use of cow urine, neem water and the buttermilk. It is known as Brahmastra. So this type of the biopaste control, if we start using, then less chemicals will come into our stomach also, and less chemicals will spread into the atmosphere also. So comparatively guys, this chapter was very much easy for us. You can write each and every such things according to your own understanding, but it should be very much relevant. We will be meeting soon with the next and the last chapter of your ID for the boards division. We'll be meeting. Thank you.